Let me just get a quick audio check, chat, because I've got the world's worst headset. I think we're absolutely good. Sorry for the doubling over there on the audio. So good evening guys and welcome to OTL Realistic, our new Thursday night adventure. This is round 5 and tonight we head to Spain. It's back to normal format of course, so full qualifying for the realistic boys, hence the 7:30 start time of course. And I think the best thing we can do is get a quick rundown of exactly who's in what car. So give me a second to get that loaded up guys, and we will get a run through of our grid. Of course the grid being based off of last week's performance. So if you won last week's race like Ranger did, he is at the back of the grid of course in that Haas car, and some guys not quite turned up yet, so I'm not sure how that one will turn out. So let's get this. Where is it? Come on, it's taking a little minute to load up. Why is my phone being so slow? So our teams for today, we have Ranger and Bossman both in the Haas, both guys not turning up, so they will continue that car into next week. F. Lewis and Martoman both in the Williams. Mikey and Nick both in the Alfa Romeo. Mazepin and SPW both in the Astons. Mitch Matney and TXJ and Alpine. Danny and Fingers both in Alpha T. Clarkey and Ryan Sam and Clarkey both in Ferrari. Rage Volks and McLaren. Dixie and Pedro in the Mercedes. And Mitch and Schlee in the Red Bull. So we have Dixie out on a lap on his Mercedes, just coming into sector 3. Of course it been full qualifying, the guys will maybe just take a minute to get themselves settled into their race fully comfortably. Adam having to have a small lift out the last corner, so that'll hurt his lap time, but he will set the pace thus far on a 19.0. And who do we have coming behind? It's a 19.3 for Mazepin and his Aston Martin. So let me get our stream back up. I hope you're all well, chat. SPW now when he's Aston Martin on an 18.7, so starting to get a little more open. I think we'll see some changes at the front. Of course Ranger utterly dominant last week, but I think that it won't be so much the same for this week. I think we'll see some different guys up there at the front. Is Ryan Sam now in the Ferrari, does an 18.1. Is Dixie up in the sector 2 split? He is half a second up. So into the twisty stuff of the last sector, very very careful you don't bin the car. And of course strategy will come into play. You can do the soft and medium tyre, 10 laps on the soft, 23 laps on the mediums. It's a 33 lap race. That is the optimum strategy for today. But I think you may see some guys use the hards. As OTL Dixie now goes to an 18.2, he finds 8/10 of a second, and he is 1/10 off the front row of the grid. We've got Mazepin back there on a 18.7 now, he found half a second. Volksbob on a 20.2, Fingers P6 on a 20.4, Mitzi Matt 7 on a 20.5. Then we've got Danny Boy 21.0 and Nick on a 34.5. Nick will be hoping to avoid the damage he occurred last night. Let's see who we have. For the backing laps, Mr. Rage, he's on an invalidated run in his Mercedes. Oh, he's McLaren, sorry, McLaren Mercedes, I guess I'm not wrong. How is Mitch getting on these Red Bulls? He's had to get out of the lap, he's invalidated at the moment. So Rice and Dixie, our two title protagonists last season, sit equal on the front of the grid, not equal, but a 10 splitting them between the top two. Where is Mataman just opening a lap. So stay with the man in the Williams, and we'll go for a lap round Spain. Get on board actually, as he will tuck it up nicely to turn 2, misses Apex massively too, but he'll open up 3, then You want to stay nice and tight to the inside line, Matt. Drifting wide a little bit. I think that's just maybe the low performing car that can't hold the tight line. Hit the brake pedal just at the bridge. Tuck it in nicely at the apex, let the car drift wide. And on the throttle nice and early. Then the road just dips down here. That's your braking point. If you look carefully in the road, there's a small drop. Find your brakes. Then up to turn 6. They're very tricky. I find down to 5th gear is the best way to stay. Matt chooses 4th gear. I think 5th just gives more stability in the car. Then up over turn 7. And very, very aggressive on entry there. Very lucky not to pick up an invalidation, but he was absolutely on one at the moment. 52 flat for sector 2, so Matt looking reasonably competitive in his Williams at the moment. Good evening, Mr. Adam. Don't start the highs again, don't do it. Don't you do it. Chat, if you're listening, you can hear me. Is my pad charging an inconvenience as Rage sets the time on a 17.3. Mataman goes to a 19.1. A few tenths off Mazepin, but inside that top 6 at the moment. Where is our Pedro? In the middle sector was a 51.2 for the sector 2 for Pedro, so Pedro going to be close to the low 18s here himself, I think. And it's an 18 flat onto P2 for Pedro. Of course, we've got the big hitters like Clarkey. I think ENTHJ will be do some decent lap time in his Alpine as well. He'll be right in there. We'll stay with ENTHJ, just coming through the last sector to set his lap time. DRS will pop open and it's going to be a mid to high 18 into P5 for ENTHJ. And as you see, our protagonist that was there last week, Wolfsburg, Ranger, F. Lewis, Mitsima, the grid has just flipped, and this is what I like about the realistic. Everybody gets a chance in the turning weeks to really fight out for race wins. You can't, it's nice to just win every race, but in terms of a challenge for the title, it is not the best way to be doing it. Pedro is on an in-lap, so he's way down. Now is Clarkey getting on. Somebody there set a lap time, I missed who that was. Somebody slotted in on the board though. I think it may have been Mitch on a 20.1. It was Mitch, so Mitch slots to P12. We have Clarkey in sector 1. It's going to be a low 22, in fact it's a 22 flat in sector 1, so I think reasonably competitive, and Mitch has dropped the car out the last couple of corners there. So I hope you're all well and joining us, and guys, if you haven't already, please hit the like button as Clarkey's very aggressive into turn 6. 1, 2, 3. No, I think it may actually be turn 7. Oh, he misses his apex a little bit there, and oh, the car was squirming on traction at the exit of the hairpin, but keeps it in check with a small correction of the steering. Then it opens the car up for this slash chicane, let it fall down, pick up your apexes nicely, use all the curb in the exit to get your power on, then send it straight to the line, using all the exit curb. DRS will pop open. I think Clarkey's going to go into pole here, he does at the moment, at 17.2. I think it's hook, line and sinker, a big battle up the front as it stands between Rage and Clarkey, but Pedro, Ryan, Sam, Dixie, this battle in that P3 spot is going to be massive. Look at the 18-7 group there, ENTHJ, SPW, Mikey, Mazepin. That is a very, very closely contested midfield. So that'll of course play dividends when it comes to race time. So Nick, Danny, Mitch of course will go out from the session, but Nick and Danny at the moment are our men sitting in that drop zone. I don't think Mazepin is on a lap. Mitsima, sorry, he is not. So we'll go with fingers, he's on an out lap. the AlphaTauri, man. He's probably, could say, he's been one of the most consistent drivers this season because he's pretty much stayed in the same car, which shows that he may not be scoring up at the front, but he's scoring consistently, which will make a big difference in the title fight. His nick improved to an 18.5 and up there into P6 in his Alfa Romeo. So we miss Schlee and our two Haas boys, Bossman and Ranger. So Bossman and Ranger next week, of course, will run the Haas again. And then we will have, I think if Schlee turns up, he'll probably filter into that higher up car, and then whoever's in P17 will drop down. So green fingers to open his lap. Can he get himself a bit more cushion to that drop zone? We will stay on board. So he'll find the brake in about 80 metres. Get the car in a little bit of turn on. He's maybe actually a little bit later on the brakes into one, but not too bad. Then he'll hold. Oh, he can't hold the tight line. Look at the understeer for the AlphaTauri there. There's just no front end grip at all. Still gets away with the lap, but he's a couple of dents down in the first sector. So we'll see if he's getting any more time in the lap through the middle and last sector. Oh, and just the front end of the car is not there at all. So fingers really struggling on corner entry, and I think that will knock that lap way down. So he's going to get out of that one. Oh, and Valls has touched the curb on the inside of turn 13. You certainly do not want to do that one. So where is Matt? Is Matt on a lap? He is. So Matt's one of our men on a committed lap. Is he going to be a little bit up? He is half a tenth up sector 1, so finding some time. To have a big lift at the apex there, up over the hill. I think Matt was worried that the car was going to snap on him, and that cost him a bit of time. He's 1/100th of a second down, but time to be found in this last sector. He's very aggressive on the car, but don't keep touching that. Oh, he was too aggressive on the inside, and that will turn him round. SPW has his nightly lag out. Mataman is going to go to the line. Wonder if he's going to try run again. Fingers a couple of tenths up this time in sector 2. Let's see sector 2 split. If he has maintained that advantage, he has a tenth and a bit up. So if he can find some more time in the last sector, he can maybe get up close to that top 10. Can Fingers improve? He does, and he pretty much matches his lap time there. How's ENTXG getting on? He's matched his first sector, the Alpine man. And of course, chat, remember we'll have Mr. Shizu Jensen joining us in around about 20 minutes time. We should catch Q3 and also the race, of course. Oh, I better actually add young Jensen to the party. I am stupid. Bear with me for 1 second, chat. I am a bit of a nugget. So I've added him in, just so you can join when he's finished. let's hope, of course, we come in with a happy Jensen. A race victory. A very dominant display for Jensen last night in HOR in the wet. A couple of risky calls on the strat, but in the end it paid out. Even got himself a little penalty, which is very rare for young Jensen, and managed to bridge the gap to still win that race. So with Dixie and Pedro, I don't think they're going to run again. I think they're reasonably happy in their first sector. Mazepin's going to get well out of the way of this coming through. It's our Volks and his McLaren. So is Volks Bob going to be up? He is a couple of tenths up, so Volks Bob could get himself outside that drop zone here as long as he can keep the time nice and tidy and keep it neat through the last few corners. Of course, these last corners, for me, I think is where your lap's made or broken at Spain. Very careful on that inside curve. Use the exit curve, get the power down, hug that inside curve, get yourself nice and tight to the line. And he will improve to P14. It's a 19.5 for Volks Bob. Puts Left Lewis on the cusp, but of course we'll only lose 2 drivers, and Danny Boy not being out in the track. F Lewis will be safe because Mitch is out, so we will lose Mitch and Danny going into Q2. Of course our tyre choosing session. Clarkie goes through on top, Mr. Rage P2, Pedro 3, Ryan Sam 4, Dixie will be P5, Nick 6, ENTXJ 7, SPW 8, Mikey 9, Mazepin 10, Matt 11, Mitzi Matt 12, Fingers 13, Volks Bob 14, and F Lewis will be in P15, although he may improve through these last couple of corners on his 19, although I think he's way down actually. He's maybe just on an in-lap at the moment. Oh, and he's not going to catch the checkered flag. He will not catch it. Unfortunately there for F Lewis, but he chooses just to go to the line. I think that's fair from the young man. Good evening, Mr. Scummer. I am doing okay, I'm doing okay, man. Scummer, why do you not get involved in a Thursday night? I think realistic performance would suit you down to a T, bro. Bear with me 1 second, chat, just as we get to the end of the session. Right, so as I said there, we have Clarkie going through in P1, now 17.2, 17.3 for Rage, so a 1.5 tenth gap, then we get half a second there. Back to Pedro in 3, Ryan Sam 4, Dixie 5, Nick 6, ENTSJ 7, SPW 8, Mikey P9, Mazepin will round out the top 10. Then we have Matoman, Mitzi Matt, Green Fingers, Volks Bob, and F Lewis there in P15. I will just scroll so you can see that now. And then we lose Mitch and Danny Boy, they will start in P16 and 17 respectively for the race. On to Q2, of course, we will see exactly where the guys want to go on their strategy. I think we'll see most of the guys start the race with it being full qualifying. You can still get through on the medium and full qualify still on that soft tyre in Q3 part. Right, that's it. Could even just be a reserve and then if there's space and it suits you, Scalmer, you feel like beating every day. Oh, that was a bit weird there, chat. I'm not quite sure what we seen. We've seen somebody on an outlap, but they were most definitely in the pits, so that was Codemasters at its best. So let's get some telemetry back up. We'll go for tyres because that's going to be the interesting call. And Adam says don't talk to him. Oh yeah, it's Mr. Rage you would need to talk to. I guess Adam's maybe getting at that point. So mediums for Matt. Mr. Rage will drop onto the medium as well. Matt's going to be a lead car out, and he's Williams. Who's that? He's followed closely by, I think it could be Dixie. Oh, it's Pedro actually. Pedro out early in Q2, not something we see very often. And his Mercedes, we're hoping to make a statement. Of course, Adam also in that Mercedes car. I think Clarkie and Rage are going to be hard to beat in their McLaren and Ferrari, but We will see. So medium's on for everybody that's out on an outlap at the moment, apart from Rysam. You faster says, let's go ENTXJ, let's get some screen time for young Jay's on his outlap and his Alpine. Since he's been asked for in the chat, we will give him some time. Trying to get through on the mediums. We have Volksbob out in the soft compound as well, so these guys wanting to start on the soft. Soft to medium does work, it is a strategy you should use. 10 laps as I say on the softs, 23 laps in the medium, 33 lap, 50% race. So it's not the worst strat, but we'll go to Matt. See who's going to be our first man to open a lap. We'll get on board. See pops his DRS opening, heads down, which will be at the start of the race the longest run of the season down to turn 1, 800 metres. You find the brakes about 70 metres, tuck it into the inside. He chooses to use more of the inside curb at turn 2. That in the race could be deadly, so that's something we'll need to be aware of. But up to sector 1 we were seeing low 22s, was probably our average sector 1 split, so Matt 4 tenths off, of course on the medium compound, so that'll pay dividends to the pace difference. Oh, and he'll pick up an invalidation there. He's going to have to just back out that lap straight away there, does Matt. How is Pedro getting on? He's got out his lap as well, so Pedro not feeling comfortable at all on his medium compound tyre. He gets out the way of an Aston Martin man. I think that may have been Mazepin going through in his medium compound tyre. We'll get back to Mato, man. Oh, he invalidated, so Mazepin, where are you at, sir? You're coming into the final sector on your medium. You're going to be our first man to get that time. He uses a lot of curb on the inside line. Still gets the car to come round, suffering a little bit understeer. Out the last corner he comes, he will set the pace for the mediums in Q2. It's going to be a 19.2 for Mazepin. And Nick does a 19.1777. Pedro going for another run now, I think. Excuse me, chat. As Dixie now sets the pace on a 19.0 ENTXJ, the man that was shouted for in chat, 19.287, only 3/100ths of a second, splitting him and Mazepin from P3 and P4. We have Volksbob on a lap. He's on an invalidated one, and I think there was somebody in the wall there. Oh, Mitzi, Matt. Oh, the infamous turn 16. Too much inside curb has put him in the wall. Matoman invalidated again. His second run in that medium compound tyre. Now this is where it becomes tricky, because you're taking life out of the medium you just don't want to lose. So bear with me, chat. I need to get myself a little drink. Who will I go with? Let's go with somebody that's maybe set on a lap. I will stay with Matt on his third lap around. I will go silent for the next 1 minute chat, but I will be back, you have my word. Sound back, chat. Please give me a word if the headset is going bonkers. So where did Matt go? 19.3, so maybe lost a little bit of time. Got some pinging going on. Sorry, chat. Chat, is the headset okay? Nobody's right, I'm just gonna have to check. Are we okay? Yes, we are good. So, Mr. Rage comes out, one of our pace setters from Q1, but Clarky is on a lap. In fact, Clarky's just coming through the last corner as we speak. So Clarky, only good for a 24.8, but it looks like he has had to open a second lap as we are joined a little earlier than expected. I hope that's not for bad reasons. Mr. Jensen. Oh, that's good. So just a finished race. Well, let me do some audio adjusting because I cannot hear a word just saying. You had a crash?
In the final lap, but
just like dropped it yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, you dope! You don't do that often. That'll be your one for the year, I guess.
Yeah, hopefully.
Rage picking up an invalidation as Skalma says evening to Mr. Jensen in the chat. See, you're just in, Jensen, and people saying hello. They definitely like you more than they like me.
Yeah, you guys are amazing, man.
Kirsan videos, good evening.
Oh,
I hope you are well.
Pedro and Adam in the Mercedes.
Yes. But I think Clarky and Rage is going to be our two pace setters. Clarky, although Clarky in his mediums, not as close to the front as I thought he would be, or I could be wrong here. I take that back, it's a 17.8 and a 3/10 advantage to Pedro and Dixie in the Mercedes. Then Mr. Rage and his McLaren also, so Jensen, you have to turn yourself up by half, says Mr. Skalma.
Do I?
Oh, I don't think you do. I think you're just talking quiet when you first joined the
party. I was
party.
probably just talking quiet. Like,
Yeah, you sound fine now.
This is my broadcasting voice.
My broadcasting voice, you'll have to hear it.
That broadcasting tone.
An SPW up to P4 and he's Aston Martin and an 18.9.
17.8, Clarky. He's on the medium, so...
Mr. Rage and the McLaren, he's been... these two were our pace setters in Q1, they had a good half a second advantage.
I think, looking at it, I think Adam's going to win today.
I think it's going to be close. I think we're going to see Dixie, Pedro, Clarky and Mr. Race at 17.4 for Mr. Rage, a big 4/10 advantage there, nearly half a second. Of course, Clarky done it on his second run, so maybe not being just as aggressive. So who would still have to run? How's Mikey getting on?
Mikey. And Ryan Sam started lap as well.
Ryan Sam looked to have good pace in Q1 also. He was right up there inside that top 5, so
22.2 through sector 1. I had out of Rage, that is only 3.5 times off.
So it's going to be a low 18, I think. Low to mid 18 for Ryan. How is Mikey getting on? No, Mikey was very close to SPW in Q1, but of course he's opted for the soft compound start, so It's going to get him right up there. He goes right next to his teammate in a 16.8.
Oh, Ryan Sam validated on the exit of, I don't know the name of the corner. I think turn 12. I think it is turn 11, turn 12 or 13.
It would have been an 18-2, so he'd have been right there with Dixie, just a little behind him.
Just a little ahead of him, actually.
Oh, aye, 5/1000th ahead. They've been very close.
He's going again, though. Spirit of Spain, get like the lowest fuel can hit. It would allow you to still do 2 laps in a row. And this time he's a tenth quicker, Chris, through sector 1. So we might see him contesting 3rd.
Oh, he's very nice and tidy there, down into turn 4. Day 5, sorry.
It's all about getting the lap from Q2, getting the starting tyres. And apparently next year, in F1, the Q2 rules...
It's scrapped, yes.
So anyone could choose whatever they want.
Which I think's going to make it really interesting.
The strategy, like, it's a very interesting in the strategies in F1.
I think that opens the door as well for more.
You'd prefer the harder tyre, wouldn't you? But yeah, I think it will probably bring everyone closer to be honest, because of course the top teams are always getting through.
Ryan Sam only half a tenth away from his teammate there, Jensen. Sorry to jump in. 9 for Ryan, P3 on the grid.
Aye. I knew he'd be up there, P3 near his teammate. For that.
So who are we going to see run again? We're definitely going to see Matt, Mitzi, Matt, F. Lewis, Fingers all come back out. I think we'll probably see ENTXJ Mazespin come out again also. SPW might feel a bit under threat. Of course, he done his lap on the medium, so he'll have time if he wants to go to the soft. And I spoke a little bit about your wonderful display yesterday, Jensen.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And how you're the man that knows all the strats. And it was you that enlightened me to the 10 softs, 23 medium strategy. That all went Pete Tong because it was pissing or rain.
Raining. Yep.
Mataman needs hot for that. I'll never forget it.
Have you been given any insight for the weather for the race or?
Absolutely nothing. No idea.
Everyone on the mediums. So there could be rain near the end, maybe, or mid-race, possibly.
That's true.
That could be the reason behind the medium tyre. Mikey on the soft, though. So
Nick also on the soft, but Nick's retired, so he feels happy in the 18.6. Oh, is he on the medium?
Yeah, he's on the medium, 5 lap old medium, so.
Oh.
He's put them through a lot, so if there is rain, I hope it comes early. Green Fingers on a lap.
I thought he was on one there. I'll stay with him. A couple of tenths up as well. Needs more than a couple of tenths, so.
He's running out of energy. I think he's just doing multiple laps there, but.
Of course, the session draws to a close. We're half a second up.
I'll probably put him 13th for now, but if you can get a little bit more, you could sneak into the top 10. We'll see how his final sector goes. A little bit wide there, but still time to gain.
Well, lovely bird's eye view at that last corner there.
It's going to be close. He's improving, but he's 13th, and that P13 for Fingers.
F. Lewis 3 tenths up. Can he find more time as he comes into the last sector? Sorry to jump in on you there, Jensen, but he's our next lead man on a lap. He is on the soft compound tyre. Can he drag himself up inside the top 10 and get that Williams car through into Q3? Oh, the rear of the car tries to step out in the entrance to the last chicane. Out the last corner he goes.
This could be close. This could be really close.
Oh, and he does. He goes to P9. ENTXJ's out the lap. Matt's out the lap. Oh, and that's it. Yeah. F. Lewis just sneaks himself through at the end of the session. We will lose ENTXJ, Matt, Mitzi, Matt, fingers and Volksburg. But Rage, Clarky, Ryan Sam, Pedro, Dixie, Nick, Mikey, SPW, F. Lewis, Maz's spin I think was retired. I think he crashed his car. So
he might. I could check actually. Let's see if he has.
So we may only have 9 for
No,
Q3.
he didn't crash his car. I think he's just retired himself.
Oh, so he took a chance.
No terminal damage from Maz's spin. But yeah, that's interesting. Only 2 guys gone for the softs in the top 10. Everyone else mediums, so that could hint the weather. Maybe Chris. But
I hope they get some bad weather, just so they need to feel what we felt. I'm doing a rain dance right now. So looking at that, Jensen, I think it's a clear shootout between Rage and Clarky. I think Clarky in his second one, he's probably got a couple of tenths on that tyre. The question is, can Ryan, San Pedro or Dixie mount some form of a challenge? Pedro and Dixie would need to be fined half a second on a lap to get anywhere close to it, I think on the soft tyre.
I think looking at it, it's my favourite pole. Of course, the man coming out on top in Q2. But P2 through to P5 might be an interesting one.
It's going to be very, very close.
With the Ferraris and Mercedes doing at it.
Of course, the guys in the Mercedes will probably just be hoping to stay in touch till DRS. If they are going to be behind, because that car is mighty down that main straight in realistic performance compared to any other car on the grid, so that could be where it plays dividends coming into the race, even if they're a few tenths off in qualifying.
Yeah.
The joy of realistic performance, none of this eco-ness and people getting stuck in a train that the faster cars will be able to push through. So who's first to jump? Let's get some telemetry on the screen. I put tyre up, but it's going to be, I'll just put it to piss lap.
So these guys they'll get 2 runs out of this, and Adam,
I think it is
coming out.
And we get somebody further down the grid as well. Oh, we do. We have an Aston Martin. The SPW is our first man to get out.
Yeah, you've seen the quarter mile, Adam.
Followed by Mr. Clarky and then Dixie.
Yep. So, pretty obvious everyone will be on the softs. But who will get pole position? It's really an interesting battle here between the Ferraris and the Mercedes. McLaren of Mr. Rage. Yeah, he's seems very confident pole position, but
of course coming into tonight with a good bit of practice as well. Has he done this yesterday?
Ferraris and Mercedes might have a good shot at having a go again. He got a 15.8 yesterday in qualifying, so here's the pace. I think he'll get maybe into the just about into the 16s in his session.
My bit, I want to see Dixie and Pedro find a bit of time and really mount a challenge against these guys at the front. I don't want to see Clarky and Rage drive away.
Let's go on board with SPW. It's about to open up Q3. Just about to start. Is that Benny Aston? See what benchmark time he's going to set for everyone else. And it's turn 1 a little bit on the outside, of course, and using up all that curve. That was pretty nice from SPW. And takes a tight line out of turn 3. I mean, set to 1 of 22.1. Set to 1 second time. Going through to turn 5, he locks up a little bit on the front left, but seems alright at the moment. Turns 8 and 9 coming up. That was pretty good. How committed will he be? Not so much. but these different cars can react differently on the curves and the high speed corners. He gets a pretty nice hairpin, and he goes up into the final sector section here. He just about keeps it as he goes through the final couple of corners into the chicane. That's a pretty nice chicane there. He runs his left wheel on the curb and see where he goes for his first time in the session, 18.6. And Clarkey straight away 17.3 in response.
He's just opening a lap behind.
Yeah, this
I think Dixie's going to be on next man.
Let's see where Dixie.
You got a very good last corner there, did Adam?
Yeah, he might sneak up into second. He does 4 tenths off Clarkey at the moment. Let's see where Rage is in sector 1. He's set a 21.8 sector 1 split.
Jeez,
which is
3 tenths up in SPW's time.
That's matched his medium sector 1 best. But the McLaren in real life seems to be the better car on the straight, so I don't know on this game where it's directed to.
Good evening, Rob. Pleasure to have you on board on the stream. I hope you are well.
50.9 through sector 2 for Mr. Rage.
Get on board with the McLaren man.
It's going to be close between him and Clarkey, I think, because he is only 7 tenths ahead of SPW split. So he's going to make up 6 tenths in this final sector. And where is he going to go with this lap? And so close.
Wow.
E2. And Clarkey strikes the first blow in qualifying then with a 17.3.
And he's going again? It's Clarkey.
Yeah, he is.
Ryan Sam into P3 and a 17.5. Now that front of the grid starting to look very, very competitive.
He's not really using these tyres again. He's a tenth up though. I think he might have had a poor sector 1. That's probably why he's going again on his previous lap. And he's already 1.5 tenths up, Chris. So there is definitely pace for Clarkey as he goes through turn 7, 8. Really close. That was nice through turn 9 there. Kept it fairly committed. In the Ferrari, he is 2 tenths up. He only a tenth up on Rage's time through sector 2. But the final sector, Clarkey seems to be something different, and goes a little bit wide on that curb. He goes a bit wide on those curbs as well, and he chooses to pit. I think he might have lost all that time in the very end of that lap.
I don't think we have anybody else on a lap at the moment. Ryan Sam, no, he's way down.
Nick.
He's on an in lap.
Yeah, he's on invalid.
Pedro on an out lap will be our next man, I think, to get a lap time on the board.
Yeah, Nick will be in the pits, I think. So Pedro coming out early for his what would be the final run.
Of course, aye, because the shorter session means that
Yeah,
yes.
he didn't come out for. So his first run, he didn't go for a first run. This is his first only run of the session, I think, be for Pedro. So he might have ran out of tyres, possibly.
Or maybe just happy to do one run in some clean track.
Or keep some tyres back, maybe. Don't know.
Yeah, Mikey and Nick have done a stellar job to get the two Alfa Romeos into top 10. I would totally agree there, Mr. Shiv.
I want to see this man on the podium tonight.
Who, Pedro?
Yeah.
That would be a monumental effort.
It's been a couple of years since he's been on the podium. Yeah, so...
No, I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago.
Did he get a podium a couple of
Yep,
weeks ago?
P3.
Wow.
Oh, and he invalidates at 1. Pedro, you
he
nipplehead.
should have another go.
Excuse the insult there, chat. Pedro's the only man out in circuit at the moment, so we'll just watch him on his invalidated run. We'll watch his pity lap.
I'm just looking.
He's still using his energy, so I'm not quite sure.
He got 4 in Bahrain.
But the
probably why
P3
he
was a
didn't count.
reserve, so he got
P2.
promoted. Oh, maybe it was P2 then.
Yeah, but I don't know how we're counting.
Hmm?
Do we count reserves results from?
Not in realistic, no.
Realistic.
No, sir. Because it just starts messing up with the car order and stuff. Although I don't know, maybe Rage will think about changing it now because the system's a little different.
Well, Mikey currently sitting in 3rd. He was a reserve for round 1. He got P2. But he's now full time in the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
So I think that's how
racing.
Rage holds it, like he'll hold the points and
Or
if I
two.
come full time they will reinstate them. But it's just like until then you're just kind of like a reserve table.
Yeah. It's a weird system.
So Pedro, 22 flats,
22-0.
sector 1.
It's alright. Mercedes got a turn in. Just needs to get all his turning points right. This is going to be his final go at the laps here. Gets this wrong and he has no more opportunities, but here he goes through sector 2. He is 4 tenths, actually no, only 3 tenths off Mr. Rage. The Mercedes goes through the final sector. He might sneak it into 3rd, maybe 4th. He uses a lot of the curb. I think it might be P4, P5. This, yeah, it's a P5. Pedro, still not too bad. Him. Ryan Sam 2 tenths up on his time. He looks like he's going to be sitting in provisional pole in a second, Chris.
Yeah, I'm on board with the man now as he comes into those last couple of corners, nice and tidy there. Oh, careful on the car drift, the white gets the power on absolutely beautifully. DRS will pop open.
I think this might be it. Oh, he doesn't. He only improves to.
And look how
0.3.
close it is between him and Rage. 2/100ths of a second.
There we go, Rage. He's got 2 goes at this.
Dixie was shown up
Ryan
a
Sam
tenth and a half in the middle
Ryan Sam has
sector.
enough fuel. He could go for another run potentially. But yeah, Dixie 1 tenth up in the middle sector. Can he do anything? Can he get into the top 3?
Oh, he ends up losing time in the last sector.
He's going again, I think, though. Anyways, Mr. Rage.
Oh, look at this, we have Mikey and SPW both on a lap.
Oh yeah, right there as well. I wonder that's going to go on there. I think SPW on the quicker one, of course, at the moment. Mr. Rage, he's 3 tenths up, he's got a 0.6, middle sector. He just needs the final sector. That was a much better one this time. I think he might be on for a potential 16. And there goes Mr. Rage. That was very tidy from him through the final sector, and this could be a clear pole position, a 0.8 for Mr. Rage.
Big lap there from Rage.
And here comes Ryan Sam, he's got to start his final go at it. Adam, he is 13 thousandths down.
Mikey finds a tenth of a second. Qualifying over for Pedro and SPW, they'll be P5 and P6 at best. SPW into the pits. Mikey's session is over as well. He'll be P7 at best.
Does he improve? He does not. He gets a 0.7 and a 0.8 at end of qualifying. He will stay P4. I don't think he will be beaten.
So Nick, can he get somewhere close to the SPW Pedro fight? Maybe split them? Or can he split the Mercedes?
On for getting right with SPW. That was using the curve there. He just rotated the car.
That was a mighty last couple of corners that he gets. Oh, he nearly gets Pedro. 18 flat for Nick, and Clarkey on the pole.
And Mr. Ray's been bested. And
by
Brian Sam is
1/10
invalid.
of a second.
And here comes F. Lewis, he goes to P7, but Clarkey's on pole. With a blinder of a lap, we didn't see that coming. Wow.
Wow, yeah, I didn't expect that. 9/100ths of a second gap, under 1/10 of a second. And then we have a half-second gap. Ryan Sam in a little bit of no man's land. He's half-second to the guys in front, then half a second up the road from Dixie. So, BQ3, Clarkey on pole, Rage P2, Ryan Sam 3, Dixie 4, Pedro 5, Nick 6, F. Lewis P7, SPW P8, Mikey 9, Mazepin P10. A little more open front of the grid, as I would have thought, but a couple of notable mentions there to Mikey and Nick in their Alpha Romeo. Getting both of them into Q3 was a very, very good effort. And they look to be right in the fight as well, so let's see what they can do. Right, bear with me 1 second, Jensen and chat. I'm going to grab the restroom before the race. So I'm back, young Jensen. I'm not crackling, am I? Just in time, 3 seconds to go.
You're good.
Thank God for that. So, 33 laps ahead of all the guys. Rage and Clarkey, or Clarkey and Rage, will share row 1. Why is my words not working? Ryan, Sam and Dixie on row 2, Pedro, Nick row 3, F. Lewis and SPW row 4, row 5 will be Mikey and Mazepin, row 6 ENTXJ and Matterman, row 7 Mitzi, Matt and Greenfingers, row 8 will be Volksbob and Mitch, and a Lone Ranger on row 9 this evening will be Danny Boy back there in P17.
So yeah, Mitch, the only driver with a free choice to go to soft.
Oh yeah, we'll let the stream see that. Of course, F. Lewis and Mikey are only 2 men inside that top 10, like you were saying earlier on, Jensen, on that soft compound tyre. So watch them be quite aggressive off the start.
Be an interesting start to the race. Clarkey, will he keep the lead into turn 1? It will be a drag race between Rage and Clarkey. Rage will try and keep it in there. But oh wow.
Not quite sure what Pedro's doing there. Don't think he was paying much attention.
Good damage isn't on in the formation lap.
Yep, well that would have been an early shower for Pedro.
Yeah.
Ah, we'll just get electrocuted from a charging cable. Ow!
Well, this is going to be interesting warming up their tyres now. The McLaren has seemed to be the faster car in Sector 1 throughout the qualifying sessions. So it's either a low downforce for Rage or simply faster in the straights, but I think the second one might be the more likely one.
Went for some more straight line speed possibly.
Yeah, that McLaren was the fastest in the straights last season's Formula 1.
That's a very, very good point. So Danny Boy will take his slot As Mitch
There we go.
filters in a little beside him. Would you like lights out, Jensen?
Oh, I don't mind.
It's up to you. It's same we're on lap 2 for some reason.
Oh, just doing it, there's 5 lights for the Spanish Grand Prix, and we get away, and both Ferraris get the better start, and Rage dropping back here is going to go wheel to wheel, and look at Clark, he's covering off the inside, forcing Rage to brake earlier, and then they make a little bit of contact. The Mercedes of Adams up the inside, his car's off the road, just spinning Ferrari, it's Ryan Sam in the back, and a little bit dramatic in the first couple of corners, but Clarkie's got away. Rage in P2, he just about keeps it, but Ryan Sam...
Oh, and they go 3 wide, sorry to jump in there. Mitzi Mazzy spinning Mikey going 3 wide on the exit of turn 4 there, Jensen.
Oh, green
very
fingers.
brave.
Oh, he's backed off, I think. A little bit. Don't know, but Clarkie, he's comfortably leading at the moment as we go into final sector of the first lap. Ryan Sam, I don't know what happened to him. It was P2. Is very nicely in P2, Rage having his moment, and then spins the car. That's a very interesting one there.
So Dixie up one of biggest
Mazepin
gain.
has spun. On Mazepin spins.
He needs to change that name. He needs to change that name. Oh, it gets us every week. Mitch.
He takes the escape road for that. And
SPW into the pits. Did he pick up some wing damage?
so did Jay.
Is Volkswagen
Yeah,
make
it
a
is wing
big
damage.
move?
And so it is for Jay as well. They're both moving on to new tyres. SPW onto the hard tyres, Jay onto the mediums. So 2 different ways. The hards will go to the end. I think they're probably the better choice, really.
So watching here, Pedro starting to be pressured quite a bit from Matoman. I think this is our closest fight on track at the moment. Pedro
look at
just
Rage
not
as well.
looking settled at all at the moment on his medium. Oh, of course, Rage within half a second now.
Oh, and
Clarky.
that's a spin for Mitzi. Matt, he's in the wall, and has
Safety
he got
car?
damage from that?
No, just a yellow flag.
He's still got his wing, but he's missing an end plate. So it's definitely put some damage for him. There are very close little bunches here. Ryan Sam's already back up to 11th. After being last lap, he's already making quick progress. And he needs to. Bolts Bob.
Mr. Rage on Clarky here. He's going to pull with the inside. Sorry to jump in, Jensen. He will go to the inside line. Clarky will try and hold it. Will get back on board. And good car placement there for Clarky. Made it very hard for Rage to get that move done.
DRS will be next lap, so it's going to be a lot easier for Rage to attack Clarky. But look at that, Adam's been brought into this a little bit. Oh, and that's a spin for
Danny Boy, I think.
He's off in the gravel. No damage, but it's just a spin. And they go side by side, Ryan Sam and Volks Bob. And Volks Bob pulls behind him, and that's position gain for Ryan Sam.
Ryan Sam on the recovery mission.
Yeah, and he's already in the back of Green Fingers. Will he go for anything here? Try and get the run. He's not going to use anything. I think he's going to wait for the main straight. Unless the gap opens up. Oh, he's getting really close to the back of Green Fingers.
Pedro now. I
Fingers
think
goes
he's
wide.
Oh, I'm going to jump to that.
He's going for it.
Through he
Green
goes.
Fingers. Has he played the game yet? Oh, he's lost the back end. And here comes Volkswagen. Volkswagen might have a go at him. He's using his energy. Green Fingers is as well. They both got DRS. Who's going to be the faster car? It's Volkswagen with that McLaren. There's Green Fingers trying to keep the nose up the inside, but he can't. Just about. And it's Volkswagen who stays in front after a couple of corners.
So F. Lewis starting to be a bit of a cork in the bottle here in P4. Nick and Pedro certainly look the faster car. Hope he's not picked up any damage from that one. And Matterman is right on the back of this fight. Also Mikey too. So while F. Lewis keeps fighting there, he keeps pulling all the cars further back into the fight. So Pedro's sitting with a lot of energy compared to the guys in front. So I think he should probably just push on if he feels he's got more pace.
So Rage is trying to break away here, but Clark is just about sitting with him. Can you believe it?
Oh, and I bet your Rage got a warning there.
Realistic. You think these guys would just pull away from each other in little groups, but no.
Packs everywhere. So
And
Pedro
Nick, he gets a
pushing.
penalty, but it's going to be a pass for him. Oh, and that's Danny Boy again. He's had another spin. Just call him the new Mazda spin.
So Nick up to P4. Clarky and Rage pretty much checking out up front. Dixie in a bit of no man's land in that P3 position now. He'll be trying to bring home a podium. I'll be thinking we'll get a VSC out. So that will neutralise the pace a little bit. Guys need to be careful they don't pick up any penalties, because it's a drive-through under VSC, so that's certainly something you do not want to pick up. And a little bit of a recharge. If you're a smart driver, you will double pedal now like Clarky is doing and keep charging that battery. So you should always drive with the brake in just a little bit and just keep topping the battery up under VSC. And SPW picks up that drive through like we said they wanted to avoid for speeding under the VSC.
Here comes Clarky. Will he be close enough this time to have a go at Rage? No.
And they managed to top up 30% extra energy compared to Rage under that VSC, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, Clarky's sitting in a good place at the moment. Oh, and Nick and F. Lewis battling there.
And Pedro's going to get
Pedro's
through.
got the better of him. Pedro goes up into 5th. Oh, and Greenfingers is out. Greenfingers has crashed
Oh, that's got to be a safety
over the
car.
bump of turn 11, and that could be. But it looks like it isn't. But
Nick goes a bit wide in the exit 4. That'll
it
give
is a safety car. It's a late safety car, just like your crash yesterday.
So safety
remind
car
you.
comes out. I know. I hate you. So what would you do now, Jensen? Safety car out, 6 laps in, you're on the mediums, just stay in the tyre? No reason to pit just so early, or would you go soft?
I would stay out.
Just stay out. Makes
You
the
wouldn't be able to do,
23
you wouldn't be able to do
laps.
soft would be a really big push, and you'll probably lose more time. The mediums are the best race tyre around this track. But the mediums won't go to the end, so...
Clarky pits.
Yeah. Anyone who's on mediums, stay out. If you're on the softs, I would go maybe onto the hards.
Oh, that's a shout. Now, did Nick pick up any damage there in the entrance to the pits?
Look at them pitting. Clarky onto the hard tyres. Nick also in the pits. Pedro, F. Lewis, Mikey.
Pedro going for the soft.
And Rage stays out. And Brian Sam gets past his teammate as well. Clarky might be in a spot of bother here. Coming to restart. Even though he's on the hard tyre. Rage just gets a gap on those mediums. Using the pace as well. And if he goes onto the softs at the end, he will have a massive advantage.
Possibly too much of an advantage also. Oh, just get a little drink. I needed a refreshment. Good evening, Parrot. Nice to see you hopping in. Yeah, some realistic performance. So, now that every day is pit, we have Rage from Dixie in P2, Matterman 3, Ryan Sam 4, Clarky 5, Nick 6, Pedro P7, F Lewis 8, Mikey 9, Mazespin 10, Mitch 11, Danny Boy 12, ENTXJ 13, SPW 14, Volksbub 15, and Mitzi Matt in P16. Possibly could be 2 more laps under the safety car here actually. We may not get back going till lap 9. So a little nosy at the penalty, sitting as a drive through for both Nick and SPW. So Nick has a drive through in P6. That cut. I think it's full at the moment, Parrot. And I am not the man, it's Mr. Rage. You need to speak with... Nick and Clarky playing a little bit there. Yeah, there's some guys not here tonight. We have our 2 Haas boys and Schlee not here. It is a full grid. You can always speak to Rage about a reserve spot though. That was something we would need to speak about, I think, in regards to your question there. So, no safety car in this lap. Of course we have Mitzi Matt quite a bit off the back, so as I said, it will be 1 more. We should get going though for lap 9. Then it will be Mr. Jensen is back in the hot seat. So let's actually look as well. Let's see what tiles people have went to. Of course, everyone outside the top 4 all taking advantage of that safety car. So I wonder if Matt, Ryan, Sam, Dixie, Rage, I wonder if they're listening in. Everybody that knows Jensen knows that he's probably 99.999% accurate when it comes to a strategy call, and you'd be silly really to go against him. So I wonder if they would yeah, Alpha and P6, Mr. Nick, both Nick and the SPW. Nick picked up a drive through at some point as well, Jensen. I'm not quite sure when, but that is going to be very hurtful. And Clarky and Ryan, Sam, are we going to see some penalties pop up here? Was there some overtaking? I've definitely seen the name switch.
Was behind him, wasn't he? And Clarky's trying to overtake him there. Oh, he was trying to go alongside anyway, but I don't think there's any penalties. Going through there. Hopefully enough.
So Mr. Rage looking to react from Dixie.
So yeah, Dixie. This will be interesting. I think Rage will have this covered. Dixie
and just like that, Parrot, just as you say safety car in this lap, the sign pops up on the screen. Sorry, Jensen.
Yeah, I think Rage will get away. Adam and Matto will be the second front fighting lot, and Clarky might have a bit of a tricky time for himself here, trying to get through these guys. So
I wonder if Pedro can capitalise. Of course, P7, but on that soft compound tyre, Jensen, inside that top 10, so he's going to be very aggressive for the next few laps. If he wants to make that work, he needs to get through.
I think soft to medium, finish off the race, still work, but going to the hard tyre.
So Dixie choosing, Rage choosing to go late here, and he's away. And Dixie's reacted pretty well to this. He's not dropped off much at all, and now he'll fall back into that slipstream ERS in full bung. Can he close him down into turn 1?
Clarky's going alongside. his teammate, he goes really deep on the brakes, but he's got through. And Matterman's going a bit wide here. Clarky might be looking to
Dixie
get
at the moment also.
Clarky's going to switch back. He's looking inside. Chris going up to turn 4. Is he going to go for it? He is. He's going to stick the nose up there. And Matterman, he's just about to lose out. Clarky has had a brilliant restart, and this is not what Mr. Rage wanted, because the hard time, like, staying behind these guys, that's what Rage wanted, but now I think the strategy might be paying off for Clarky.
And Pedro, sorry Jensen, Pedro just absolutely sent it there and Nick round it outside at turn 4. Just absolutely went for it.
And Ryan's going to go for a move on Matt. And Ryan is sticking his nose in there. Pedro's right behind these guys. Ryan has a moment. Pedro going around the outside. Making contact. Oh no. Pedro, a little bit oversteer, I think, for Pedro. And yeah, that was unfortunate for him. Yeah, it was very ambitious, but that sucks so bad.
Nick in for his drive-through. Rage picks up a time penalty for multiple warmings.
That is not helping his cause at all, and Mitch is out of the race.
Oh!
He's crashed at the final corner.
And that's got to be another safety car.
I think it was on the first lap, wasn't it? After the safety
Oh,
car
we might get away with it then.
Yeah.
Might not get it at all. Dixie being hunted now by Clarky. So where else do we have some gaps? So Clarky and Dixie, I think Clarky's just going to wait for the DRS.
Yeah, I think Dixie's got the pace over Clarky at the moment. Clarky, yeah, it's going to be a very interesting one here, how this develops. If there's no safety car, this race really becomes a race.
Yes. I'll be intrigued. Oh, and Clarky's having big moments oversteer. Out the last corner there that allowed Adam to break away a bit. Dixie down a bit in the energy compared to those behind though, and Ryan Sam starting to put Matterman under a bit of pressure. Oh no, Matterman's one of our non-pitters, right? Can you join, Mitch?
Yeah,
I guess. I guess so.
Just so you don't have to blue screen it.
Thank you very much. So Ryan Sam now very much on the back of Matterman and trying to put him under quite a bit of pressure.
Yeah, we could see a move. If Matterman makes a wrong move here, and he's pushing, but he's not going to get close enough. Oh, look at that, we're joined by Mitch.
Yes,
Wow.
good evening.
How are we,
Jason? Yeah, I'm good, and you?
Yes, very good.
No, awesome. I didn't know that you were with Chris. I thought Chris was just all alone.
Yeah, you're alright.
Ryan Sam, big moment.
Okay.
You can stay, Mitch.
New
Okay,
comms
cool.
partner for Thursday, you know? Together
Nice.
on Mondays.
So Clarky really struggling out the last corner, and that's making it pretty much impossible for him to get the move done and Dixie down that main straight. We've got a yellow flag in the last sector.
Nothing.
I think that was SPW.
It was a silly yellow flag.
So Mitch, what happened? Did you just drop the car out the last corner?
Yeah,
Oh,
not happy about that.
You were having a good race. Was it just, did you just lose it? Or did you have contact?
No, just lost it.
No, unfortunate, bro.
here we go, Chris. This might be it. Clarky's using, Adam is using as well, I think. And there goes Clarky in the inside, makes the move, and Adam tries to switch back a little bit, but he can't.
This is maybe
Clarkie's
smart from
pretty-
Adam though.
He could get
Use
DRS.
Clarkie. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's only if he gets the run out of these corners though. Oh, Clarkie loses the back end. That might have been what Adam needed. And Adam, he's going to be straight back on it. And this could be an easy pass for Adam. And here we go. Clarkie using Adam's now using. It's going to be an easy pass for Adam. Back into second place. That was the perfect.
Oh
move
no,
for Clarkie.
Adam!
Oh,
You
no.
no, Adam!
Was there contact? Or was
No,
that
he's
just a
touched
spin?
the inside curb just too little on the inside,
Ooh.
and it's pulled the car round. No, Adam.
He's got no front wing. He's going to be ailing back to the pits. That was such a good run from Adam there, keeping Clarkie at bay, keeping in second place. He had a decent gap to Matter as well, but that's unfortunate.
Pedro
He's
got
gonna
back
be-
up to P6 in his soft compound tyre
Oh.
bit. Well, that's been happening. We've missed
He's
all
got a
that.
little, you can see he's got a little bit darker.
And I wonder, is this why Pedro went to the soft compound tyre, Jensen? Is there some weather inbound? Mitch, if you knew, do not say.
No, I don't know.
Alright, okay. Pedro needs to be careful on that inside curb there. So I didn't even notice that, Jensen. I was that focused in the action, you just made my
Oh,
eyes be drawn to the
spinner.
sky. Oh, it's a...
Mazepin spun.
Yes!
Oh, missed it again. I should have said spin. At the same corner.
I
again.
didn't
He's
touch
done
curb.
well.
You touched the curb on
Done
our
well.
screen, Adam. You'll be able to watch back on the screen.
Adam,
Oi, toch.
see what we can recover from this race. He's got a pit for a hard tyre, doesn't he? And
Yep.
he's slowed down very early. Probably he's trying to decide what tyres to go on. He just
It
has
may
to go hard.
go... It's a hard compound.
Yeah, Mr. Rage though, he's 8 seconds clear of Clarkie. He is looking pretty good at the moment. If this rain comes now, this will suit him very nicely. If it doesn't, Clarkie might still have a shot. But at the moment, Pedro doing
And
very
he's
nicely.
getting
He
right
has to
onto
pit.
the back.
Nice.
He'll have to pit in a couple of laps though. To get off his
Pedro,
tyres. Oh,
stop touching
oh
that!
my God.
Stop touching the inside curb! You crazy man!
Wow,
Drifting the car, yes.
good car control there.
Yeah, Rob, I was kind of thinking that myself there. I think Adam going to the hard compound tyre would indicate to me that maybe the rain is not going to come.
Yeah, this might be strategy choice. Oh dear.
So Rage, Clarkie and
no,
Rysam all
Pedro
get
lost it.
penalties. Ah.
Ish. Something similar to Adam, maybe?
Oh, his tyres are too hot. The tyres are hot. He's
Too
just
much
trying to get
power.
going. Out of turn
Oh.
2.
I know it's
Slow, bro,
Pedro.
slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh,
And that's what you call the softs going off there.
Yeah, once you spike the rear temperatures, it's a very hard thing to keep under control or bring back under control. Mr. Rage now
Mikey.
out to 9 seconds.
Watch out for Mikey. Mikey's going pretty nicely on those mediums. He is only 16 seconds away from the lead.
And Mikey may be eyeing up Ryan in P3 for that penalty, so that's maybe something for Mikey to push towards.
Yeah, Clarkie's now got a penalty to his name, so
See if Nick is closing in on Mazepin, see if anything gets done here down the main straight. He's closing in a little bit, but choosing to use no energy, and other than this, everyone else is outside each other's DRS zone. The pack is still reasonably close, just It's one and a half second gap between most of the drivers. At the midpoint in the race, only halfway through, which is kind of crazy.
Yep.
F Lewis and ENTXJ. This is a battle I think that's brewing a little bit. F Lewis though fell off the DRS of ENTXJ, was in it for a few laps there. It has fell outside the window. When do you think we'll see Rage pit, Jensen? Do you think he'll extend these mediums a little longer because he's had the safety car period?
I think he'll go lap 23 or 24.
So just about the normal.
Yeah, I'd probably say 24, since you go a little bit longer.
Mazepin, I think, about to line up Wolfsburg, although Wolfsburg gets a good X out of the last corner. Mazepin struggles a little bit. And Nick now all over the back of Mazepin, he'll tuck up right in that slipstream. Both guys get DRS, of course. Mazepin out of energy, Nick will pull to the inside line. Both guys on a hard compound tyre. Pick their braking spot, they'll go side by side. Mazepin has to get all over the curb on the inside of turn 2. The team standings. Oh, it would mean digging them out Discord wise and that. Parrot, I can maybe have an overview of them afterwards. I know F Lewis is leading the championship. He's got a bit of an advantage, and then Clarkey in P2. Rage 3, Matt 4, Mikey 5. That's our top 5 in the championship.
Pedro versus Mitzi Matt. I wonder how this is going to play out.
Is Pedro still in that soft compound tyre?
Yes, he is. Oh, he's lost the back end.
Oh, he's out!
No!
Whoa!
And that is a
That
safety
might be
car.
a perfect safety car for Rage, and yes, it is.
So that's a good.
Rage
Big
might be able to
performance.
go. Yeah, he's pretty safe, I think, to go the softs.
Oh
And
yeah.
Clarkey, look at this. Guys with no penalties, watch out for these guys.
So Matoman, Ryan, Sam, Rage all getting a bit of a lifeline. Yeah, that was a big one.
Jay, Pedro.
If you are, yeah. If you have, if you can go mediums to the end, I would, to be honest, over the softs. So I think Clarkey, I think his only way he can win this now, goes for the softs. No, not softs, mediums to the end. And he might be able to get him.
Rage, of course, as you say, Jensen, will jump to that soft compound tyre. It's a no-brainer now.
So he's got. Oh, so the top 3 at the moment is 3-second penalty as well.
Yeah, camps will always claim victims, Shiv. I'm actually surprised we got to the midway point and this only took out 1 so far. I think that's where a lot of the validations were coming from in qualifying also. So Rage in the pits, and Rage has went to another medium compound tyre.
Okay, and Clarkey.
Well,
What is?
it's over. Rage needs to pit again.
Oh, he's gone mediums. What has he done? Rage, yeah, he has screwed himself over here.
He's made a
He
big
really
mess
has.
of that one.
Clarkey will be loving that one.
When he nearly overtakes the safety car.
Clarkey, looking at it now, I think Clarkey might be on for be this.
Well, Ryan Sam.
To win 2 races.
Ryan Sam behind him on the soft compound tyre.
Yeah, he's got to make those soft work if he wants to get those. Matt as well, and he hasn't got a penalty.
Mikey also, he's been pretty much there or thereabouts.
But the problem for these guys, they have slow cars.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to leave. Sorry. things
No
just
worries.
happening
That's
now.
alright, Mitch.
But yeah, okay, enjoy and yeah, see you guys.
See you later, Mitch. Unfortunate ending, buddy.
No problem. Hopefully next week stronger.
That's what we like to hear, mate.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, okay, cool.
Take care,
We will
Mitch.
see. Okay, cool. You too, man. Bye, bye.
Right.
So is Rage gonna box now?
Yeah, he's got a route. This is a very interesting one. He's got to, isn't he? And he is. That was such a big mistake for Rage. He's going to be at the back of this pack.
He nearly got a penalty there.
He's going to have to go soft, isn't he?
Now, while Nick clear him, I think Nick's going to clear him very easily, actually.
Yeah.
Parrot. Yeah, I know, right?
He's going to get cleared by the Alpine and the Mat as well, I think. Maybe not, he might get cleared by SPW, it's going to be close between them two. But Rage just about comes out P10. That has really changed the race. That Rage has got a lot of work to do if he wants to still win this race.
And of course, being with the penalty, I think it's over.
Yeah, unfortunately, I agree with you there.
What has he done there? He's a big dope. I'm going to grab a quick restroom break, Jensen, just before we continue.
Right. He's got to be in next lap.
So I'm back, young man. Give me word if my headset is okay.
Yeah, it's alright.
Good stuff. Matman will definitely fancy his chances. The game may have automatically stuck Rage on the medium and he didn't think to change the set. That's a good shout. Oh, Rage selected the sauce, but the game put him on the medium tyre. Ouch. Well, Rage, finger out. You'll give us a nice 10 laps of some nice action, I'm sure, fighting through as well. So Jensen, it's got to be Clarky favourite now, right?
Yeah. He's on the mediums. He's going to be the best at the end of the race, I think, so it's a done deal.
Yeah, I think it will be Parrot. I think we will get safety car in this lap. We will get 11 laps of racing. Can Mataman do anything from that P3 position on no penalties? That's going to be the question. I think Clarky's just got a bit too much pace. But Mataman's got to fancy a P2. Yeah, I agree, Shiv. Yeah, ENTXG as well, that's a very good point, Ufasa. You've been watching on, your man's got himself up in a very strong P5 position. A couple of medium tyres behind him as well, so he's looking good to hold that P5. And of course, if he can stick with Mikey Matoman, could he put Ryan Sam under pressure for an extra position with that penalty being on board? We'll go to Clarky though. Clarky will get going straight out the last corner. Got a nice little jump on Ryan Sam and Matoman. quite a good run out the last corner. I think you'll see the straight line speed of the Ferrari. Matt, I think Clarkie there more weaving for tyre temperature. I don't think that was a defensive weave. So further back, SPW and Wolfsburg, Rage got through it.
Look at the battling back here, the side by side from turn 3, Chris, Mazepin and Mitzi, Matt, make a little bit of contact, there's a bit of wing flying across the track and it's Adam. He's lost wing again.
I think he got smacked there.
Oh no. It has happened again to Adam, he's caught up with the safety car but he's once again going to be far back.
So Ryan Sam trying to stay with his teammate at the moment, and he's doing a very, very good job of it, Jensen.
Rage is making up positions left, right and centre as well. He is already in 7th.
Adam is a boat shiv. He'll come out swinging next week. I'm sure he'll take the points and then send it. I feel for Adam, man. He's... Ah.
Well, here goes Rage, he's going to go for a move on F. Lewis. No DRS, but I don't think F. Lewis is defending too much.
Oh, Clarkie's got another penalty. Well noticed, Shiv. Too busy watching the on-track action. Clarkie up to 6 seconds in penalty. Matoman well within that striking distance now. But he is falling out the DRS, and we know that once you're out the DRS, you tend to keep falling away. But Ryan Sam is going to feel good for the win here.
Yeah, Ryan Sam looking very good at the moment. Clarkie needs to gap his teammate. And those softs will start to dive at the end, and that's what Clarkie's got to rely on, I think.
And then he's got to get the foot down once his tyre come into a window where it's going to be better. Because if Ryan Sam's staying in the DRS, then it's not going to be enough for Clarkie. And I think Mato, man, is starting to struggle a bit.
Pace, he could still win this as well.
So Ryan Sam with the fastest lap of the race.
Here we go. Jay versus Rage, they're both using a lot of energy here. Rage is going to try and send one, I think. He's got to make up the ground. Jay's still there. Hits the inside curve a little bit.
Yeah.
Rage is through. And now he's got only a couple more cars in front of him.
Oh my god, I just tried to take a drink of my apple juice and I pulled it all over my face. 1 second.
Oh no.
Oh, I just made a big mess. Sorry, Jensen. I've literally just pulled it like straight over me. Anyways, Mr. Rage, you think he can win from here, Jensen? Because he is coming down the inside on Mikey. Oh, that's deep! Oh, missed. Mikey gets the cutback though.
Yeah, but look at Rage, he's trying to keep his nose there, and he did. And he's still there. If he manages to keep this position, look at them going side by side now, but they've lost DRS to Matt.
Of course, Rage will keep it because he has
but
Mikey's.
That's good news for Rage, isn't it?
Yeah,
Rage can get through.
I think it'll allow him to break away.
Yeah, Matt's already 3 seconds behind Ryan Sam, so Rage's got to hope for a bit of luck here, and Mazepin spins final corner, and don't know if he got damage from that. I think he's alright, he's carrying on.
Oh, contact between F. Lewis and SPW. I just got on board with that fight there.
Ryan Sam takes the lead in the race as well. F. Lewis, is he going to rejoin just in front of these guys? Volt's coming up, but F. Lewis is just about safe there. But Ryan Sam is in the lead in the race. This could help Rage massively if Rage has the pace. Gets past Matt, he's got a 3.3 second gap to claw back, he can do that.
Adam now with the fastest lap of the race, showing his pace coming to the end on a 19.4.
Here we go. And Matt is not going to pose any threat to Rage, he is pulling to the side. Rage. 3.5 seconds. With only 6 laps left. Or
What a
7 laps
drive
left, I think.
here from Rage we are witnessing, Jensen.
Yeah. Fantastic comeback for him, but here comes Clarky. DRS now active, and it seems much easier than Ryan was on him, but look at the fast lap from Rage. Rage just needs another few attempts and he could be within that range.
So Ryan Sam fighting Clarky was probably a big favour for Rage. Clarky now down to 20% energy, and Rage is in the window. Oh no, not quite. He needs to get within about 2 seconds of Ryan Sam actually.
Yeah, he's getting there though. He's gonna hope his tyres don't fall off the cliff come the end of the race, which they eventually will. He's gonna try and get the gap while he can.
.6 seconds, Mikey on Matoman
Yellow
now.
flag,
Matoman maybe
that's
starting to struggle.
It's been a spin again for him, and it's Ryan Sam going to keep the DRS here. Here we go through the final sector. Clarky's been so strong through the final sector. It's all about the exit, and yeah, Clarky's got the back now. And Rage is barely closed up on Clarky.
He's at a bit of a hard spot here. I am interested though, can Mikey get the run in Matoman? Dixie picks up another time penalty for multiple warnings. I don't think he'll worry too much about that though. He's focused on just getting some laps in.
2 more warnings, he'll be on the 9 seconds.
So Mikey not quite close enough. ENTXJ right on the back of this fight as well. So P4 on offer for ENTXJ. Yeah, I think this also probably, I think they were probably set to go off about 28 to 30.
Nick versus F. Lewis. F. Lewis looking to try and get past Nick. He's sticking his nose up the inside. Good racing from them two. Nick stays ahead, even though he's got 6 seconds of penalties.
Rage now, he's there, Jensen. Rage is there. He's within the window of Clarky.
Yeah. He needs just a little bit more. Ryan Sam isn't exactly letting go as well, so this is going to be a hard one for Clarky. He needs to start to break away now if he wants to win this race.
And Ryan Sam could quite easily let Rage go through and try and use Rage's DRS and pace difference to pull himself well comfortably within that window again, so the last few laps will be quite nervy for the boys if we've had a spinner. It's F. Lewis. And look at this behind Matoman now, Jensen. 4 laps to go. Matoman is Mikey, ENTXJ and SPW all absolutely stalking him for that P4 position. SPW of course having the penalty. I think it'll be hard for him, but Mikey and ENTXJ.
Clarky is not getting away, and Rage is getting right on these guys. He might even get DRS this lap, Chris. And he will. He will easily get DRS this lap.
So game on.
If he does win this race, Rage, yeah, there's no doubt about who my driver of the day will be.
Oh, 100%. And SPW's at the moment, SPW round.
Oh no, he's spun at the hairpin. Or might have collided with someone. Here we go. Rage didn't get DRS from Ryan Sam. So no DRS at all for the top 3. This time around, we've got 4 laps to go. Oh, Rage has spun the car, he's out of the race. Oh no. And
no,
missed it. Disbelief as well. What has happened? Would that be a safety car? It doesn't look like it will be.
Oh, Rage.
Oh no. I saw him go wide and then, that is so gutting for him there. I may have cursed him.
Oh, Rage. And the chat's even getting on Rage's back. They're gutted for him. And he did. Parrot said he deserved, and he did deserve that one.
Yeah.
That is...
Ryan Sam now, he has got no pressure from behind because of that. And Rage isn't going to walk away with points as well, since he did not reach 90% of the race.
Of course.
If you start this, anyone who starts at 31 now, no more safety cars, and also be classified.
So Ryan Sam, I think, is just quite happy to stay here now. A couple of laps to go.
He's gonna try and he has to be careful. He's one warning away from a penalty.
Yeah, Shiv, I agree. Now looking at the leaderboard, although ENTXJ is just about to take that away from Matoman as he takes his Alpine up into P3. ENTXJ was P6 just a lap or two ago. He seized the opportunity incidents in front, allowed himself to get up to Matt, and the medium tyre seems now to have been the right choice for the closing stages of this race. And ENTXJ, how many positions has he gained here? I want to see 8. He's up 8. Matoman, of course, up 8 in the Williams as well. I think Matoman still gets a strong vote for driver of the day today, being in that Williams and going to bring home a P4 by the looks of it.
Yeah,
ENTXJ up to the podium from nowhere. Volksbob as well, gained 6 positions, P15 to P9. I think he'll be reasonably happy with his effort in the McLaren. But Ryan Sam is going to be the story of the day. He looked up against it coming into the race against the likes of Clarkey and Rage. Of course, we know Clarkey and Rage has a bit more pace, but Ryan Sam has shown that he can most definitely mix it with the big boys.
Yeah, and Ryan Sam on his way to his first realistic win of the season. Of course, he won the championship in the car season. So, very experienced driver in all the different cars.
Matoman slowly coming back into ENTXJ's DRS, so maybe that battle is not quite over. Turn 2, Rob Rage, I agree, Parrot. Stole it.
Didn't SSR, did they swap cars throughout the season, or?
No, it was one car for the full season based off of pace.
Of course, Ryan would be used to Aston Martin. He might even get past Clarkey, take the win on track. Let's see. Clarkey, and he is pushing. Ryan is pushing. Here we go. Final lap of the race. Is Ryan going to go for anything here? He's getting closer and closer to his teammate. Or teammate for this race. The car teammates. Don't know what his actual teammate is.
Oh, I'm not sure who Clarkey is.
Danny Boy. Oh, Clarkey's doing a big snap there. Ryan Sam's teammates with Danny Boy. You had 3 15th places in a row. Who broke that with 10th in Imola. He's going to on course for, I think, P10 today.
Volksbob was pit on the last lap of the race. Did Volksbob get a puncture?
Don't know.
Oh, is Ryan Sam thinking about... Oh, he thought about sending it there into the hairpin. And he's just keeping us on his toes. But the last sector for the last time, it was pretty much a race of missed opportunities in regards to Rage and the strategy, and Clarkey picking up the penalties. He will be disappointed a little bit to have gave the win away so cheaply, but Ryan Sam through the last corner. Clarkey's going to pull over and he's going to let him take it out of the line, but Ryan Sam says no. Fair play there. Ryan Sam will take the win. Clarkey in P2. ENTXJ will come round the last corner in his Alpine, bring home a podium. Matoman P4 in the Williams car. Very, very good job.
Yeah,
And
the
that's right,
Ferraris-
Ferrari released the livery and then drop a 1-2 in realistic.
Yeah, Ferrari, if they slowed down a bit more there, they could have gave away a podium on the second place or a win.
Which would not have been very
Not
smart.
even corner, no.
And who's that?
And
Oh, and Clarkey,
Clarkey,
yeah, that don't matter. So SPW 6, Clarkey's P1, so it will be F Lewis in 7, Mitsima 8, Danny Boy's 9, Dixie will get up to P10 at the line, so he recovered a little bit. He
that's
gets
the
in front of
second
Nick.
night in a row. That's the second night in a row for Clarkey. He gets a 20-second penalty at the end of the race for like.
So I think it's when you leave early.
Maybe. Don't know.
Yeah, Shiv. Ryan Sam, very, very good drive. Thoroughly deserved victory. So Ryan Sam, Clarkey and ENTXJ to get in for a little chit chat. Oh wait, not going to go blue screen. I need to show Jensen the table on screen. He always gets very angry when I don't do it.
Aren't I?
Yeah, oh yeah, of course. So I can just go to blue screen. Bear with me 1 second, chat, and we'll get our podium men in for a little chitty chat. So we need. Who do we need? ENTXJ, where is he? JNTX. Do I have Clarkey? Oh, bear with me 1 second, chat. My PlayStation is very slow. So just do it this way.
I'll have to dip early on, Chris.
Yeah, no worries. What's Ryan Sam's numbers at the end of his gamer tag? Just go. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
If you have a decision for driver of the day, my well, opinion. I don't know. So I'll leave it to you.
No. You suck. Yeah, that's fine, Jensen. I will think about it with what you would
Just
think in
remember
mind.
to say it in the chat.
Says I cannot add players because of some of their settings. That's interesting. Yeah, I'll say it in chat. I always do.
Yeah.
So you can
We'll
get it for the
certainly-
points.
Yeah. Alright. See you.
See you later. So ENTXJ will join us,
Hello, hello, hello.
or JNTX, whatever people like to call the man. You are our P3 man today, so we'll just start with you. I don't know who it was. Somebody says they couldn't join because of their settings, so I assume it may be Ryan Sam. But P3, Jay, did you foresee that before the race?
Not really. I mean, I was pretty happy with getting the Alpine, so I thought maybe I could get like top 5, but I didn't think I'd really get podium, to be honest. Especially with like Rage and a McLaren and stuff. These guys have been way faster.
Of course, Rage giving up some free positions. Firstly, taking that medium tyre as this stop under the safety car, and then having to go to the softs and fight back through. Then he fights back through and then touches the curb at turn 2 and puts himself into the wall for an early shower. But that aside, you still had to race for your P3. You had a good old tussle with Mattleman. You closed him down, and then even when you closed him down, you managed to put enough distance between yourself and him to make it quite comfortable for the last couple of laps.
Yeah, I'm just happy that the softs fell off when they did, to be honest. Mediums really came into play in the last like 3 or 4 laps, so...
I think that was the
Glad about
decisive
the
call.
choice. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So on to next week, Jay, of course means P3 you'll be in a Williams. And I'm not even sure what track it is, which is terrible because I should know this. But Williams
Portugal?
next week, oh yes it is Portugal. But I think Williams will be not too bad. I think it's one of the tracks where you won't lose just as much in the lower performing cars because there's a lot of turns. Because the Mercedes and the McLarens, they really stretch their legs in a straight line. I always say anybody can drive fast in a straight line, but a good driver goes quickly in the corners, right?
For sure, yeah.
So, good position, good finish for your Williams next week. Is that your hope?
Yeah, hopefully. I'll take anything above P6 in Williams. And again, it's Portimao, so it's not like it's the most impossible track to get a good result in a worse car. So, yeah, I think apparently, again, it's another race where I've started in an okay position, fell back to the back, and then came back and got a podium. So I guess
It just seems to be your way.
Yes, I think
Every
that's the
time
only
we
way.
chat, it's the only time it happens.
I know, I swear, I don't know. Some secret or something, I don't know.
And I will say, your friend, I don't know if you know Ufasa, he is
Yeah, my God.
constantly in the chat egging you on, so he was very happy to see you score the podium.
Yeah, I respect the support. I know him, of course. Very nice person.
So very good stuff, Ian TSG. I think you're the only man that's going to join us. We have no Clarkey, no Ryan Sam, of course. Clarkey with the penalties, losing out in the victory. Ryan Sam, a very notable, very, very well done on the victory. He mixed it very well with the big boys today. And the only thing I have to call is driver of the day, and I think it's a close call between Jay and Matoman. But Jay getting to the podium, I think Matoman had a really strong effort in the Williams. So I think just for that factor, being in the Williams, and I hate to give it to Matoman because it's Matoman, but Matoman will be your driver of the day, unfortunately.
Very well deserved, I think.
But a very close one between yourself and Matt J. So on that note, Realistic is over this week, and we will start afresh next Monday with OTL Eco.